Hello, everybody, and welcome to the OHKO Season 3 pre-draft analysis with your host, me, Split Second Plays, as well as my other host that's joining us for the evening, Dev.
Hello, everybody. It's great to be here. Really excited to start season 3, especially now that we are in Pokemon Champions. That's such a huge change, and it's going to be so exciting for the future of this league.
Oh yes, and for a little background information, if you haven't been here, seasons 1 and 2 were played on Scarlet and Violet, and it was basically, and Dev helped me out because I'm probably gonna get the format wrong. I think it was Reg F with mythicals and a few legendaries sprinkled in.
Yeah, it was. I think it was pretty much just Reg F with a couple of the mythicals. I know I had Keldeo at one point, so that was pretty fun. But yeah, I think it was majority just kind of Reg F with a little bit of that mythical juice sprinkled in.
Yeah. And so, uh, Dev, if you want to go on ahead and get us on the next slide, we can kind of give ourselves some introduction here. If you look off to the right, you'll see our wonderful picture or GIF of Patrick Star saying, "Who are you people?" Well, that's what this slide is for, to kind of give you a slight background if you're new to the OHKO season, the seasons or whatever. I'm stuttering here a little bit. My bad.
If you're new to
We're
the
the
OHKO
whole
league in general,
OHKO
is what we'll
draft league
say.
altogether. But I'll go on ahead and introduce myself a little bit. You see split second there, but I'll be cordial. My name is Samuel May. I am the coach of the Kentucky Crowbats, but we are looking into rebranding to the Lexington Water Shurikens, especially for this because one of my megas, one of my favorites, I would say, even just outside of a mega, is Greninja. Rest in peace, the fact they retconned Ash Greninja and they've nerfed Protein. I'm still not over that because of terrestrialization. But we'll get aside from that before I go down on a down spiral. Some other information as far as the draft league goes. I have made playoffs every season so far. Granted, it's only two, but I was also in the finals of the last season. Uh, Rip the
Congratulations on
dream.
that
We
again.
forgot that Incineroar still had U-turn in Scarvy, so that pretty much destroyed our chances. And then in game 3, we basically got in our head, but whatever. Fun fact here as well, as you'll see, both me and Dev were original members of the Dust Division. Uh, I got, unfortunately, demoted, which, by the way, this is an absolute joke. It's not true, but that's just the running joke we're going to go with. I got demoted because I lost finals to keep the Dust Division winning streak alive. Um, also, I am probably one of the old farts of this league. I am just as old, if not older, than Mr. Pikachu himself. Most of you, I'll get on a little bit of a spiel here. Hopefully, I don't go too crazy with it, but just give a little bit of what some me and some other friends outside of the league have a bit of me going Sam Pappy as the old man. You all merely adopted the league. I was there when Mr. Pikachu was born, created by it, molded by it. Also, just to add to this, I also edit episodes, well, most of the timestamps for episodes of, and help moderate the Discord for the greatest Pokemon podcast to ever exist. Self-glazing here a little bit, but it is the OHKO. And Dev, I'll let you kind of get into your background as well.
Sure. Yeah, so my name is Dev, also known as Devin. I am the head coach of the Scottsdale Scrafty. Sadly, I missed playoffs this last season. I tried to do something little fancy with Mimikyu and didn't go very well. The MVPs of my team ended up being Salamence and Metagross, surprisingly, even though they were some of my last picks and not really who I was expecting to draft. But first season, made playoffs. I've played Sam or Split Second twice now in the draft league. I've lost both of those times, sadly, but both of those games did go to 3 games. So we're kind of evenly matched, I'd like to think in my head. I am an original member of the Dusk League, but then I got demoted for not making playoffs, sadly. So now I am in the Dawn Division as well. So we will probably be facing off for a third time, have pending the schedule, obviously.
Yeah,
Little, yeah, you can go.
I was gonna say I think it's 9 weeks, so we'll see if we get past that and instead and can just kind of have fun until playoffs.
Yeah. I had a little fun fact is both I got married during the season, so during the third week of the season I battled my wife at our wedding in the second season. So a little bit of a fun fact there. It was kind of fun. We got mentioned in the podcast, not by name sadly, but you know, we're famous. And also I've never actually drafted Scrafty despite it being the mascot of our team. I've had 2 opportunities, was going to draft in the first season, got sniped at the pick before, and then just didn't really fit kind of what I was going for in the second season. But who knows? Could draft
You know,
Scrafty this year, especially because it's got a mega. But
I was
we'll
gonna
have to
say
see
you
and
got
find
Mega
out.
Scrafty now.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
got
not your
double
main
intimidate.
one,
Not
but
that
as a secondary
bad. Yeah, so if we want to get started into kind of our pre-draft preview, I can get us on board.
Yeah. So fun fact, Joe just kind of unleashed the whole document out to the wild. So it's out in the tall grass for everybody to see, but Dev kind of got the behind the scenes before it was released to everybody else, and we're just gonna go over a few point tiers here. Both underpointed and overpointed, and we'll have also some other stuff here later on. But yeah, we did kind of just say overpointed for Mega Scrafty a little bit. It's at 16 points. It probably be a great secondary Mega, but as your first Mega,
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
sure.
I've been trying to use it in Reg MB. I got up to 2K Elo last season with it, but it is not a primary mega. I've tried, doesn't it just you gotta have the Pokemon around it to support it. The double intimidate is great until you realize there's Pokemon like King Gambit, Milotic, Annihilate all running around just so you double activate those abilities and make it just that much harder. And then once not Scraft, once Sash King Gambit became kind of a part of the meta, Scrafty just felt so hard to use because you had to deal with Choppleberry, you had to deal with the Sash, so you didn't know whether you had to double into the King Gambit, you didn't know whether you had to do something else. But it's great to use. It's got a ton of great utility, but it's just such a hard mega to use as the primary mega of your team.
Yeah, I'm not exactly as familiar. I know that the thing I look at it is that it has great defenses, but the HP is kind of my thing with it.
Yeah, I mean, I will say
If you
when you
can set
use
up
it, that
Dragon Dance
HP
to get away with it, it
it
feels
feels
great.
better than it looks. I will say, just because its defenses are so high that it does feel a bit tankier than the HP would let on to believe, and it does get a lot of the great utility I mentioned. It's got Rain Dance, Sunny Day Encore, but it's base 60 speed. It's so slow. It like you gotta use Trick Room,
Probably
even then you're not the slowest thing under Trick Room. It's just such an awkward speed tier.
yeah. Let's see. We also have a few others, and Dev, you might be able to have more in it. I'll kind of give one more there, and I see the Mega Tyranitar. I forget exactly where it's bumped to right now, but I do
Making me
feel
move all
like
my notes around.
16, maybe. Is that right, or is it? Where is it at here? Yeah, it's also
I got it
16
at
points.
16 unless it changed recently.
It should be 16 then. But it does function as a dual weather mega too. So
Yeah. Yeah, I can get into some
and
Omega Tyranitar. I've got some stuff written down unless you want to.
yeah, I'll kind of let you take over for some of these on here a little bit because I I'm probably more responsible for why they're pointed there from where they are.
Yeah, so I mean, even though Mega Tyranitar is at 16 points, so it's the max point count is 20, but it still feels like underpointed just because it's so strong, 700 base stats, and you can run it physical, you can run it special, even though its special isn't great, it's still usable. So you can kind of run this however you want. And even though it like loses the item slot as Mega, gaining 100 extra base stat points, defense, speed, whatever, it feels so good. And you could easily point this thing 18, 19 points and still have it feel like it's getting you good value after what you pick.
Yeah, it can definitely be that. It's also has plenty of options to run as partner Pokemon. I don't have it on our soon to show off ideas for teams list, but I mean, the first things that come to mind, it's like, okay, well, I will set up Sand and then I will set up Sand again if you try to change it. And I have Excadrill and to a lesser extent, Sand Rush, uh, Last Respects Houndstone.
Yeah. If we kind of want to circle back to the overpointed, I put a couple others on here. We've got a Alolan Raichu and Hatterene. Alolan Raichu specifically, I mean, it's the same point total as normal Raichu, but it's got a worse ability. Its stats are, I mean, they're all right, but it's just kind of Scrafty with worse, or Scraft, Amolga. I cannot speak. Raichu with worse typing because you add on that psychic type, you're not really hitting much better in like many Pokemon in the metagame right now with that psychic type, and then you're just opening yourself up to just the occasional U-turn. You've got Sucker Punch from everything now, it seems like. You're just opening yourself up to so much more weaknesses versus just being able to get Raichu at that same exact point total. And I looked it up. It's slower than Sneasler, and Sneasler gets Throat Chop. 4x weak Sneasler that you would kill with that psychic just one shots a 32 HP Alolan Raichu. It's just the thing's so weak. It's weaker physically than Mega Raichu Y, and that was making the rounds for taking like 25% to a fake out. So this thing is just it's so weak and it's just not fast or strong enough to make up for it.
You know, I haven't tested it, Dev, but maybe we could be a little bit wacky and zany on off time since we are not going to be at Worlds. I halfway wanted to see, can Alolan Raichu Mega with the Mega Stones?
I don't know. I feel like it can
Because that could be a sneaky thing. It's like, oh, I'm going to Sucker Punch you. Okay, buddy. I'm going to Mega out of my Alolan topping
that would
and
be
then
crazy.
Focus Blast you.
If it could do that, then bump it up. I don't think it can do that.
Yeah, if someone picks it, they may try to run that just to test our theory. So we may be setting up monsters before we even realize it.
I guess kind of the last thing I really want to get to on this slide specifically is back to the underpointed Heliolisk. This is the one when I first started looking at Pokemon, I was like, wow, this thing is severely undervalued for what it actually can provide. It's got 109 speed, so it's able to outspeed Garchomp, Floette, Mega, Charizard especially. And then pretty much every other Mega that's threatening, bar maybe Delphox, and I think that's kind of it that really Helios can't touch very well. It outspeeds all those, and then it's able to get a lot of speed control that you wouldn't really think from because it's got Electro Web and Glare. It's also got Thunder Wave, but it needs to run that because Glare's 100% accurate versus not Thunder Wave's 90%, as well as being able to paralyze those ground types that Thunder Wave wouldn't really be able to. Then it's got some niche utility moves in Shed Tail and Ally Switch. I've seen some Ally Switch on the ladder specifically. But then you've got the weather control. It learns Sunny Day and Rain Dance. Lots of different coverage moves. It gets Solar Beam. And then the best thing about it is its abilities is it gets you Dry Skin, Solar Power, and Sand Veil. So whatever weather you set up or are facing, you can just gear your Heliolisk towards that. And you're getting so much value in just a 6-point Pokemon.
Yeah, now that you say that, I don't know which one of us on the committee decided that should be 6 points. I don't know how we let that one slide.
Yeah, I was taking a look. I was like, this thing just seems so good.
Thanks for teaching me that I don't have to run T-Wave and it gets glare instead, because I did not know that.
I was taking a look at its moveset and I was just like, wow, this thing is actually like surprisingly good. Like, yes, it's frail. I'm not saying it should be like a 19, 20 point Pokemon that you take first overall, but like picking this up in like the 5th or 6th round once you've got kind of the
It's a
core of
super
your
pick.
team set up is just great.
There's also the fact that it basically also, for the most part, will now. Granted, maybe not in draft league, but if you're playing VGC, uh, it basically completely walls Basque Legion.
Yeah. I've never seen a Basque Legion on ladder or on showdown run like anything other than ghost and water, and dry skin just walls that completely.
Yeah. I also did not. I knew about the dry skin and solar power, but I was not aware of Sandville. So it's like,
Yeah,
okay.
Sandvale is its hidden ability, which is a little bit weird, but also I'm not complaining about it.
I mean, I'm trying to think. Was it? I played ZA, but I feel like Heliolisk was burrowed underneath the ground potentially. So maybe
uh,
that's
maybe I don't know.
slight explaining. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just theory crafting here.
yeah. Anyway, let's get to kind of what people are coming here for, the top megas to draft.
Yes, and I think it for our first slide, it will come to no surprise to anybody that we have put on there the thing that is running around a minute since MA and is still doing so in MB, and probably makes most of us ready for MC if that will be the next format, and that will be Charizard Y.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is everywhere. Yeah, I mean, this thing, what else can you say about it? It's so strong. It sets up weather. You can use it in and out of Mega. I mean, you usually want to use it as the Mega, but I mean, it can still hit hard without it. But then as soon as it sets that sun, you're in for a hard time. Okay,
No,
now
you're
we're
good.
good. Now we're on Star After.
Yeah. So this thing will be a menace with close combat, even if you can't do anything other than that to set up. But it also has access to Roost to be even more annoying, and can even set up Tailwind for your team. You don't have to run it. You can run a different move on things like Whimsicott. Its kind of cons are slightly there, but not the worst, especially with close combat as long as you get it off and can boost.
Mm,
It partially hates Trick Room for that reason, though. And if you don't get a Prankstermon, then you're just going to be bulky. And it's kind of slightly one dimensional, but it's one dimensional thing it does very well.
yeah, I mean, I think kind of the drawbacks is that it does become weak to a lot of pretty common moves once it hits fighting type, and like it can be hit with a bunch of fairy and psychic moves. I know, like, when I see it a lot, I'm able to kind of take it out just by whittling it down with, like, I use Frigoraph when I use Mega Scrafty, so it can twin beam it and takes about 30-40% after a close combat. But yeah, I mean, if you can get this thing starting to like snowball, then it is super hard to stop. Next up, we got
Then
Mega
the
Float.
laser cannon itself. Oh goodness gracious! I'm gonna give slight preview. I think this is on there later on. If you think this thing is bad, imagine playing this in a tournament where there are two redirectors with it and two fake out mons, and you just get absolutely destroyed by it.
That would be
They
terrible.
I ran into that in the Grand Festival Encore Challenge, and it just sit there and calm mine and had either fake out switch with Incineroar and I believe Sneasler, or the other match was okay, well, I have this. Now I have my follow me mouse hold, followed by now I heal up and hit Rage Powder with Sinistcha, and it just feels bad. And the other thing about this thing is it when it mega evolves, it also basically boosts its stab and doesn't care if you resist or not. The downsides are it's the number one Sneasler hater.
For
Maybe,
sure.
well, uh, eh, I was going to make the joke of I don't know which one of this hates Sneasler more, Sierra and Joe, or just Floette. It's probably a debate there. The other thing is, if you draft a Mega Mawile, it basically turns its advantage of a ability when it megas into a disadvantage. Because I don't know what if you need any investment in it, but I know boosted by Fairy Aura, Play Rough will one shot this thing, minus the miss.
Yeah. But when it's not 100% accurate, it's 50% accurate. So you're probably going to be fine if you draft it.
Yeah, and then if all else fails and you're not really sure what to do, and it's a 1v1 down to the wire, click Lot of Ruin, and more than likely you have a very good, if I had to give a statistic, probably an 85% chance to just destroy everything that it touches.
Yep, for sure. All right, next we got our super mega Swampert.
Yeah, we have the other weather enjoyer, and except in this case, it loves to sing in the rain and has great synergy with its buddies Arch and Pelipper. And as of champions, well, it may be in ZA2, but we don't talk about that because you'll see later on some other things that I will mention then. But it got great things because it gets stabbed with Wave Crash now. And then it also has great coverage moves, especially for draft. You can kind of be more flexible. You can run Ice Punch. You can run Rock Slide. Those are ones that come off the top of my head. I'm sure it gets other things that I'm not mentioning. Its only cons is it does not like to go outside to touch grass. And as you can see by the looks of it, that probably makes it a very sweaty fish that can also walk on land, axolotl, something like that. And it hates sunny weather as well.
Yep. It also just, you touch it with a little piece of grass and it just dies.
Yeah, I've seen things wildly on ladder before, and I'm pretty sure if I remember right, even a Raichu X with Grass Knot kind of just made this thing feel like it had a bad time.
Then we've got your favorite.
Yeah, if you've already heard, we do for Draft League. This thing I've already drafted it once in a different Draft League. And this thing is just a minutes with its versatile move pool. It can be run as a physical, special, or mixed attacker. It also, while its ability has been nerfed to the ground, which this is another spiel of why I will never forgive terrestrialization, but that's for another day. It does thankfully get to use its ability twice, both before it megas and then after it's mega. And the amount of times I first used this thing and just got to make my opponent just be bewildered by hitting the mega, and then they tried to encore me with a Whimsicott, and it didn't work because I changed back into a dark type before clicking another move. Oh, it was great. And it also has great synergy with other things. I put Water Shuriken down on there as the main thing to help boost stamina and Rage Fist, but if you don't want to take that chance without loaded dice, it does get Surf for that too. The only cons, obviously, as you can see above, it's great in draft, but currently not the best in VGC. Give it time. When Indeedee gets into the game, I will probably be running it with a Scarfed Indeedee with expanding force and probably packing on extra sensory. I think I said that right. And Protein got nerfed, and as you can see, I said quit nerfing my boy. It already got retconned from Ash Greninja. Now it got retconned from having its Protein, and it's not even on there. But the other nerf that feels bad is if you're not running Weather Ball, your best options are going to be Surf, Water Shuriken, or you're running Hydro Cannon, Chilling Water, or Water Pulse. We lost Scald again. I got hopeful in ZA, only to be let down. Uh, and also its other base 80 move that's 100% accurate, Water Pledge, is also gone.
Hopefully it comes back.
Oh, we're hoping, but I still understand the logic. I think of they said they were changing Scald to be Volcanion's signature move when it already had better signature move of Steam Eruption. If you've seen any of season 2, you know what I mean by that from
Yeah.
my team.
Think we can head on. I think this is the last Mega, is Mega Sceptile.
Yeah, and I think this is honestly a sleeper pick because if I'm remembering right, I think it's like 14 or 15 points on the board. And for that, even if you don't want to draft it as your first, it could be a really good secondary mega to just have for some teams when you can pair it with, as you'll see there, it's good drinking buddies. Rotom, it does not care what form. It also gets access to Earth Power now for fire coverage.
Yep.
Uh, and its ability, Lightning Rod, was, it was thought to be bad, but now people have been experimenting with Discharge a little bit more with the Rotoms, which just lets it boost its Sky High special attack, and it also has a great speed tier minus Trick Room. Its biggest con is its grass and dragon typing, so therefore it hates winter and all ice types, despite it looking like a Christmas tree when it mega evolves.
I think it's a kind of good thing that we're doing this league in the summer. Then that means it's not going to have to deal with any
Yeah,
of the winter types.
it'll be. It seems like it's going to be sunny weather and a few, rainy days here and there, but that it's fine with that.
It loves the rain.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and then we can get into some potential backup megas. I did want to note we did kind of forget to mention Frostlass.
Oh yes. The other slightly renowned uh, weather setter when it mega evolves,
Yeah,
but
one of
still
the better
very
ones
equally
too.
important. We did get its other buddy though that does the
Yeah.
same thing and does it doubly.
Yeah.
Of
I guess we can start out with that one. Is we got Mega Obama Snow with 6 points. It's another weather setter mega. Just like its kind of buddies, Tyranitar. It's a little bit better than Frostlass in terms of actually setting the weather, because in its base form, it still gets that snow warning ability that makes it so you can set up Aurora Veil. It makes it so you can have fully accurate blizzards, all the like. Um, it's only 6 points, so you're gonna get it for cheap if you already have Trick Room Setter on your team. It's a great Trick Room Mega. It's got 132 base attack and special attack, so whatever you're facing, you can tune it to that. If you're not facing Intimidator, go all out. Wood Hammer. I don't know the physical ice moves, but go
Avalanche,
against.
I think.
What'd you say?
I think its physical ice move that it probably wants to hit the most if it's not in Trick Room is Avalanche.
Okay, that's the one that like doubles in power, I think, right?
Yeah, if it's hit first,
Yeah,
it's like ice type payback.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that would be really good too. But it also gets Helping Hand and Ice Shard so that it can do stuff out of Trick Room as well. Seems like a pretty just good kind of, if you don't have any weather options, might as well maybe pick it up. Might do something.
Yeah.
You know.
I did not realize we put this at 6 points. What madman decided that?
Could also bring up Mega Sableye. I mean, the reason that's here is it's just a cheaper Sableye. I mean, you're probably never gonna Mega this thing in the first place, and I think it's a point or two cheaper than normal Sableye. Like, all you're doing is just picking up a Sableye without its item slot. It's got dual screens, tons of utility. Maybe you can use Magic Bounce. Like, I don't think it gets Trick Room even. So I was gonna say maybe you could like Magic Bounce a taunt off a Trick Room, but that doesn't really work. So yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, then we got
Yeah, I
Mega
mean,
Scizor, 14 points. Mega Aerodactyl, 14 points. Just two very solid secondary megas. I mean, they're great in Reg MA, great in Reg MB. They're going to continue to be good here. Like, I mean, just the best secondary megas you can kind of get.
Yeah, even if you aren't able to mega them, they still do great work.
Yeah.
We've seen Aerodactyl do its thing, even just holding the Mega Stone. If it's not got Sash, Scizor we haven't seen too much of, but having the stab bullet punch technician, whether it Mega Evolves or not, is still going to hurt, especially if you're afraid of the laser cannon flower.
Yep. Yeah.
And then
So
we
we can get
also,
in to your non-mega Pokemon to draft first.
yeah, I'm sure to nobody's surprise here, the one thing we did leave off this list is probably other weather setters like Pelipper and Polytoad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, probably Torco. I'm trying to think of anybody else prevalent that I can think of right now.
Yeah. Torkoal's kind
But
of only good if you're on Trick Room at this point, though. It's not. It doesn't have the like photosynthesis mons that it can help as well.
uh, I don't know. I think you haven't been at the bottom of the barrel yet and speed swapped Eruption Torco yet with Alakazam.
Okay, I guess I haven't seen that.
just for fun. Granted, I'm definitely not trying that in this draft league, so someone else might be crazy enough to do it. But yeah, we kind of have a few of the different sections. We missed obviously the weather setters, but we want to get those in there as well.
Yeah.
Kind of off to your left, you have the kind of good stuffs with the three uh, fire, water, grass, but not fire, water, grass typing that kind of rock, paper, scissors each other, and had to put ape there too, with it being recently an MB. You can run it multiple ways. Like I think I mentioned it. I'm probably spoiling ideas to a certain extent. Water Shuriken, Scarfed, Rage Fish go boom, or you have the traditional bulk up Rage Fist Drain Punch set with Protect.
Yep.
And then the middle, you just kind of have more supportive options, depending on how you run it. And honestly, even with these supportive options, they can still hit hard without having to have too much investment into their attack or special attack looking at Sinistcha.
Yep. I mean, Sinistcha hits hard for no reason. I think it's got like a base 126 special attack, and nobody invested in special attack. So,
Yeah, Machagotcha still hurt, especially when they burn
yep.
you. And then off to our right, probably if you're wondering why are these three here and slightly newer, it's not necessarily the Mon, it's the abilities Prankster, Prankster, and Prankster.
Yep. I mean, having a Prankster mon, especially in Draft League, as versatile as these three. I mean, Whimsicott's not as versatile as I would say as Grimmsnarl or Sableye, but it's still, I mean, those three are your go-tos for whatever setup you want to go with.
And then
We got our
these are
sneaky
kind
good
of some,
Pokemon to draft.
yeah, definitely agree with some of these. I'm not as familiar with the elemental monkeys, so I would stage cover those more of. I know there's Scald on the semi board, but that's about all I know. Looking at the other ones, definitely Milotic. Completely forgot Vivian when we were making this, and I don't remember exactly what was drafted, but I think if I remember right, maybe 13. And
Yep.
for us, if nothing else, to Scarf, Struggle Bug, or Tailwind, or for the later one that's more prevalent of Compoundized Sleep Powder. Yeah,
Yep.
it's a
That's going
pretty
to
good
be
13.
super annoying to deal with, especially because the safety goggles aren't here and there aren't a ton of redirectors who really want to like take a sleep powder to the face. So I think Vivian's going to be super annoying. As you said, Tailwind, Quiver Dance. But I did want to mention it does actually get Friend Guard as one of its abilities. I didn't know that
Oh,
until I
yes.
looked at its stats earlier today. So it can just act kind of as like a pseudo mousehold who can also sleep you. So Vivian's gonna be super annoying to deal with this season. I can 100% know.
Yeah, the Glade. Yes, you're still losing a couple things there. I know it was speculated, and unfortunately, it did not get its newly renowned sharpness as its new ability. But even if you don't, it stinks to not have an item necessarily, and but inner focus will still probably do you well, and you can kind of switch your speed stats in that way to function in and out of Trick Room depending on how you want to run it.
Yep.
And even if you don't mega, you still have sharpness. Milotic and Czarina, I think we've covered them a little bit, but if you've ever faced the Coral Hypnosis set, you know why Milotic's here, and Czarina is here because Dropkick got slightly a buff to its base power and also functions as the Dollar General version of Farigarath's
Yeah.
ability, which blocks priority.
Yeah, a kind of fun fact about Zarina too is that with a scarf, you can actually outspeed Aerodactyl, Raichu Y, and Mega Gengar. So that's pretty fun. Just immediately be able to block all priority, be able to outspeed those super fast Pokemon, and then you speed tie Delphox. Um, so
Well,
just
I
weird
did
to
not
know,
know.
but you can do that.
Learning new stuff today.
And then the monkeys.
I'll let you
So
cover this one. Like I said, I know Semiport, unless it was like the rest of the water types that lost Scald. That's all I
I
know.
don't
So
know.
I'll
I
let you
didn't
cover
look at
this.
that one. But the monkeys, they all have fast fake out. They're 2 points, so they're very cheap. They're better than Emolga, who is 1 point more. These things are 2, Emolga is 3. They have Rock Slide and Taunt, and they can outspeed base 100s like Charizard. That's all they can do.
I mean, hey, for 2 points, it's a pretty good 2 pointer.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely go worse with 2 points.
And then I believe we'll get to kind of some things here. In case you're wondering, shout out to Justin Tang. I'm not sure who made this photo, but they did a really good job.
They did. Yeah, I'll let
But
you
yeah,
start going over the teams and coaches real quick.
we kind of have a thing here. Thankfully, Joe gave us this, so we're not spoiling this for anybody of who I was playing. So it's all out in the open. But we kind of have a couple old versus new, but don't sleep on the news if you see those names.
Oh yeah. I
And I think
unintentionally
I'll let
spoiled one of them who they joined the Discord and immediately got the role, and I said something because you see the draft league role, you see I'm in the draft league, and then spoilers, I wasn't supposed to do that.
I mean, you learned before me that they were already giving the draft leaguer role. So, but I know you have more data a little bit on this, Dev. So if you want to kind of go for who you think probably our dark horses are and who's likely to make playoffs, because I know you
Yeah,
have
I
a
mean, I
home
think
analysis sheet on that.
outside of Lorcy being the top player who's day 2'd multiple regionals, I didn't look if he actually, I don't know if he's won any. That's kind of my bad. I should have looked that up. But I mean, just looking at the people who are here for the last season, I think Furion definitely. Bolt Beam Studios is their showdown name. I don't know if I'm saying their name right, so apologies. They made playoffs last year. I know they're a seniors player. I don't know if they're aged up into masters yet. Who I think won an international or a regional. I again should have looked all this up before this, but definitely my pick to make playoffs. I'm not sure what division they're in. I didn't look at it right before this. But I could, no matter what division they're in, they're my pick to make playoffs. I think also looking at the last season as well. I think I forget who it was. This is bad of me. I should know this, but there was somebody else that I was looking at. I was going through all the previous matches, and they surprised me with how much they were winning. I want to say it was for It Jesus. I think it was them. They're also kind of one of my dark horses to win. They've had consistently good seasons the last two, so I could definitely see them putting together another great season and picking up another spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, I would. I'm gonna, even though I've made it, I'm gonna not include myself to make it fair to everybody else. Um, I don't. For dark horses, it's really hard to. It may be hard for me to say. I kind of, he's got a little bit more in draft league than I have, even though I've started to play more. I would say I'm going to throw out Seabad as an option up there for the Detroit Steelings. As far as likely to make playoffs based off of old, uh, well, I don't want to say old because it's not really all that old, but um,
They were here for a
I,
previous season.
I definitely agree with you on Furion. Apologies if I'm saying that wrong as well. I would, I've got to give a shout out because the one season he was here, he was playing. We got to throw Joe Brown in there, and I
That's true.
once
He
again
did.
just
He
kind
he
of
did beat me in playoffs the first season. I was the 1 seed, and then he knocked me out first round.
um. I think there's a couple things that I would say they make playoffs as well, and potentially also a dark horse. I'm going to throw Moggy in there.
I could definitely see that. I did he. I'm not sure if he made playoffs the last season, but I know he did have some 2 solid seasons. I'm not sure if he got bounced off of differential or not on them, but yeah, he has had some solid seasons.
Yeah, and I think we can kind of go on to just a little bit of ideas for people that might be like, well, I have no idea what I want to draft yet, so give me some ideas. This is kind of your just first one. I don't think that anybody's surprised of seeing a Zard Y team here.
Yeah.
Ignore the cast form on that. We just need to figure out how to get us 8 points, and we only had 1 point left. Granted,
I don't
yes,
know.
you
I
can.
mean,
It
you
still
could throw
changes
Tiny Day
form
cast
before.
for him.
Granted, it's on the list because it also can kind of use its forecast ability and probably just scarf it with weather ball and change types as needed. This kind of giving the idea there. Dragapult's your other thing. If they're more concerned with the Zard Y, maybe you can get a sneaky Dragon Dance up and then just go wild.
Yep.
Sneasler, obviously there for its great coverage and fake out. Mega Mawile in case you need a backup Mega for Trick Room to just go nuts.
Yep.
You have a Venusaur that pairs well with Chlorophyll as an ability, and you can run it whatever way you want to. Basculegion's there to clean up stuff, and the other one that might be surprising is the Spothra. As someone that has played with this thing, skill swap to get your drought back up if they try to switch weather, as well as after one speed boost, you will outspeed Sneasler and can one shot it with Lumina Crash.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I would be, if somebody is able to get Zard Y, Sneasler, and Basket Legion on their team, I might just quit the league right then and there. But
Yeah, granted, this is all theory crafting, and you
yeah,
have
yeah.
to also somehow be
This
able
would
to
be a
draft
crazy
it,
team. Yeah.
but just giving a couple ideas. And you'll also notice as the list goes down, some get them word a little bit wacky and zany, and we'll try to
Yeah.
explain it.
Yeah, we can move on to the next team. It's something that you definitely have experience with: Sableye, Arch, and Mega Greninja.
Don't spoil my plans.
You're the one who put it in
in,
here.
in all due respect, I doubt I actually get all of this. We thought about the Star Raptor. It's like, yeah, this would be great if it was a Mega. Also looking at the AZ Floette, but you're
Yeah.
only limited to 2. Greninja has plenty of options there. If you need the Trick Room option, you have Farigiraf with Fake Out, Kangaskhan, and can follow it up with Hammer Arm or just last resort things. AZ Floette by itself, maybe people are like, well, I want to use the Mega. I don't understand outside of this. I'll give you a little heads up here. Out of this list, you'll see 8 of them. 5 of these I have in another draft league and just been dominating with a 6-1 record and about to play playoffs here in a little while, and we'll see how that goes. The Star Raptor there, you can kind of, if you can get away with it and catch your opponent off guard, you can just Choice Scarf it and Final Gambit into the Farigiraf to set Trick Room into the Kangaskhan. But the AZ Floette is also there because when in doubt, you can just Scarf it or Life Orb it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this team is just kind of all good stuff. I mean, the Sableye Arch Mega Venusaur I used in MA, and I've used it a little bit in Reg MB, just kind of when I've been messing around. But that is such a solid, like, three Pokemon kind of core right there without the Mega Greninja, even. With Mega Greninja, I mean, Sableye sets Rain Dance. It can, I don't know if it can set snow, but it can set whatever weather you want and just kind of go without it.
I won't, you know, sugarcoat it. The Greninja is definitely there as a bias, but you could honestly, if you can work around it, you could replace it with something like Swampert or even Starmie with
Yeah.
huge power. It's your Mega.
That's your water Mega slot.
Yeah.
All right, we can go next team. We've got a Mega Frost last team. We didn't forget it here, but
We didn't forget it here. We just forgot to mention it on the other what you should probably look to
yeah,
draft if all else fails. The You've got different options here. You have if even if you want to use it, Mega Frostlass can either just hit blizzards after it sets it up, or you can Aurora Veil and make the other parts of your team bulky. You have Tailwind with Aerodactyl. You can have the what's the term here, Dev? I'm blanking for the Basque Legion when it comes in and reverse sweeper.
yeah, reverse sweeper.
Crocodile is kind of just there to give you intimidate options, as well as if you don't want to run it because of a competitive or Defiant Mon. It also gets Moxie as long as it can knock something out.
Yep.
Mousehold can do Mousehold things either as your technician or another option to boost with Friend Guard. And Jolteon's there kind of for speed control because if you can either scarf and outspeed most things and hit Electro Web or whatever else. It's kind of a weird niche pick for a utility mon.
Yep. Yeah, and this would be another solid team. I think this is a bit more realistic than kind of the others because a lot of these are not a lot of teams probably want Komodo. Crocodile isn't something that you think of right away. It's a great draft league mon, obviously, but Jolteon, I don't know if Jolteon's even been picked in the last couple drafts that I've been a part of, but yeah, a great team all around, and only one Mega makes it so you kind of have a bit more flexibility in kind of terms of what you build around.
Yeah, also the idea behind this is if I get an Aurora Veil up and then I click Clanger Souls on Komodo and then Citrus Berry, it's gonna be a rough time.
Yeah. Get out onto the next team, Blastoise and Torterra. I haven't even seen this one.
Yeah, this is where we started to scrape ideas at the bottom of the barrel for a couple things. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, just kind of to explain this team a little while, I'm pretty sure both Delphox and Clefable get Psych Up to just start it off. And it's the more prevalent. There's a Pop Bomb there with Overquill that can just be your setup and then click Barbarage, maybe Crunch if you're not running two other slots for minimize,
Oh, jeez.
stockpile, whatever. I'm sure there's another setup thing I'm forget. Oh, Swords Dance, I guess in a way. Uh, the other thing is, I'm pretty sure both. I don't know about Delphox, but I wouldn't be surprised since it's a psychic type. But I know for a fact Clefable can pair that with Cosmic Power if needed to get even more defense boost, and then just stored powered.
Yep.
The the Kingbeck Gamut there is kind of just to help out, and with Annihilate, you're probably not realistically getting both of these, but just Defiant Mons to help you out and kind of hit things hard. With Mousehold as well to redirect on this team, it's more functioning as the Friend Guard option, but you could run it with Technician if you want to. But it's for this team, if you look at it, most of it's there to hit Follow Me, and the Blastoise and Torterra are your sleeper picks to both get Shell Smash just from Follow Me.
Yep. Then we've got a kind of a more standard team, Mega Sceptile Rotom.
Yeah, I didn't really check it when I put this together, so I'm not really sure how the top chart goes, but it feels like it's somewhat good.
It
Also,
looks pretty decent just kind of off the bat. I mean, I don't see too many glaring weaknesses. because you're kind of
It
hitting. You got the water, you got fire, water, grass. You've got steel, ghost, dark. I feel like that's kind of good combinations.
yeah, there might be a couple overlaps. I see 2 dark types, but it's not the end of the world. You still have an intimidate, and once again, a little bit of bias here. I'm sure when Joe and Sierra see this, they will groan at the Paldean Toros, but I had to sneak it in there at least once. And I was like, we need a fire type. Let's get the Tauros out.
I mean, if
Uh,
Weavile can get frost breath, he could anger point up.
that's true too. I didn't think about that one, but that's a great shout out. Also, the Weavile is there because, fun fact, I've ran into this enough times. Weavile is actually faster than Sneasler, so you can fake out the fake outer first.
I didn't actually know that.
Unless you try to counter that by running upper hand on the Sneasler, then it's like, oh well, this is not fun. Uh, Gengar and is kind of there to do Gengar things. If you know, I don't want to necessarily give it out there, but you do have the option for Rage Powder, Perish if you want to play it that way. I wouldn't be surprised if Kodo sees this with the Sceptile and also a Perish Trap option and takes it, because Lord knows he has brought it to every game I've faced him.
He also had
And
Dardozo Tatsugiri last year
oh
or
god,
last
don't even
season.
get me started. Also, the Alchemy is kind of there with its abilities. If somebody tries to sleep you, you can block that. Its other ability, if you're worried about Whimsicott a week or just something to Encore trap you, fun fact, its ability will stop that. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure its other ability. It's either Romavale or Sweetvale, one of the two, but it gets both either way. One
Yeah.
stops sleep, the other one can stop taunt and encore shenanigans.
Interesting. I
Not
didn't
to
know that.
mention also, if you with this team, if you look at it, uh if you can't get your Rotom to boost the Sceptile, you protect and hope you get through the decorate strat.
Yeah. Can head on to Mega Staraptor and Mega Glamora.
Yeah, this one, it was slowly in the works, and I was trying to figure out how to get it to work for a while. And also, I got to give a shout out where credit's due. Shout out to Devv for giving this idea in the first place to pair Staraptor and Glamora together. Uh, they do handle a lot of the more prevalent things in VGC. Granted, it's more of a draft league here, but
Yeah.
it has good things. Goldingo and Garchomp, you'll see some of these at the top are probably more of I believe it was a Cybertron video, and that was kind of where the idea came from there. For your last 2 picks, they were kind of like, okay, well, we have 9 points. How do we make this work? Maybe this is more of a personal thing, but I think Ditto is a great pick there for 5 points, especially whenever there are megas or legendaries involved, because you can just sash or scarf it and then yoink it. And especially in a mega format, granted, back when I first did this in X and Y, probably people may flame me for this a little bit, but we weren't running Ditto. We were running Dark Void Smeargle back when it was legal, and then I had Transform on that boy. So imagine you Dark Void something and have a Xerneas set up, or say, I don't know, 2 Mega Kangaskhans or 2 Mega Mewtwo Ys on the field and just go boom. Sharpedo's there because I looked at 4-point Mons, and I feel like Sharpedo can kind of sneak in there a little bit, especially with still having speed boost as an option.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, Sharpedo, I feel like people kind of sleep on it a little bit, and more so in draft leagues than normal VGC because it's not that great there. But in draft leagues, having speed boost just kind of whenever, and especially because I think Sharpedo gets all of the Fang moves, so like Ice Fang, Thunder Fang. You got a lot of good coverage there just for kind of 4 points.
I know it gets Poison Fang. I haven't checked, but it may also actually get Psychic Fangs. Don't quote me on that, though, because I
I
don't
want to
know
say
for
you're
sure.
right, but
But
I
yeah, it
can't be
definitely gets
sure.
that. which, at some point maybe I'll get wacky and zany and try to make like a mega Sharpedo team, obviously with this protect speed boost and then a bunch of the Fang moves.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not even just maybe like one of the Fang moves and then Crunch and then probably a water type move.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah,
It looks like that's
that
the last team. So
yeah. Well, thank you for everyone that's tuned in and watched this. Uh Stay tuned because both I know for a fact I will be streaming my matches. I'm sure Dev is going to start streaming his matches too.
yep.
So for me, I will be at probably on YouTube is where you will find me most of the time for split second plays. Dev, if you want to link your stuff, because I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, it's all going to be under iDeveloper. Developer is two V's in it because the main reason my name used like way back when I was playing CS:GO, it was Dev, and then the name Dev with two V's is available on ESEA if you know what that is. It's way back. That's kind of where it came from, but now it's kind of evolved into I'm a developer and my name's Devin, so two V's makes sense. So iDevelopers, all my ats, and yeah, that's where you can find me. I'll be streaming the matches. I'll be trying to cast as many matches as I can just to make sure everybody kind of has as much recording and footage as they can. So
Yeah, I don't really know for sure, but I'm sure we'll find out in due time. I think maybe Joe is trying to get us to be like the step down from VGC and be the unofficial official sportscast drafter for the draft league. So we will see if that actually turns out to be true or not in due time.
well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, thanks for y'all tuning in, and we'll catch you, I'm sure, on some of the streams too.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see y'all later.